Welcome to CIT 190 JavaScript programming. I am your instructor, Lisa Ballback, and I am going to go through the orientation and course information block and provide a little overview of how the course is set up. So at the top is the JavaScript programming course links. You can see the date range is for the entire semester. What we have in here are resources that you will use throughout the semester. So I've got some links to JavaScript tutorials, jQuery, Ajax tutorials, the Lunapic online editor, other resources that you guys might find useful. And then I also have a link to our live stream class and live stream office hours. So in this course, some of you signed up for the online class, some of you signed up for live stream. Live stream students do need to attend class because it's like any other class. I do take attendance. The online students are welcome to attend. And just so you know, typically on Monday, I do the lecture. And on Wednesday, we typically have lab to work on assignments. And sometimes on Monday, the lecture doesn't take the full 2 hours. So at the end of class, we also have lab. And for lab days, like Wednesdays, students do need to show up and I do attendance, but I don't make you stay in Zoom to do your homework. If you have questions, you can pop in, you can ask, you can share your screen. It just is an easy way for you guys to get help. And online students are welcome to come to live stream lectures on Mondays or the labs on Wednesdays. If you need help outside of class, coming into my live stream office hours is a great idea because you can get real-time help. It's in person. You can share your screen and I can troubleshoot with you. So those are Sunday night from 7 to 9, Monday and Wednesday from 2 to 3, and Tuesday from 6 to 7. If those times don't work, we can set up an appointment. However, I do have a lot of live stream classes. So my availability this semester is more limited than other semesters. So that is live stream. Then as far as the news and announcements from your instructor goes, I use that to let you guys know when I correct your assignments. So I typically correct all the assignments at the same time, and it is going to be after they are due. And I usually give you guys a couple days of wiggle room. So I never correct them on the night they are due. But I do correct them all within the next week. Once you see the announcement, it will come through your email and it'll say like something like lesson 1 assignments are corrected. That is kind of your clue to come out here and check your grades. So when you look at the grades, you will see your score in the first column. And then you'll see the point range next to that. Now, if you did not get all of the points, you can come over and look at the feedback. And for the programming assignments, you are allowed to correct your errors and resubmit one time for each assignment. Okay, so any points that you do miss, you can get back. So that is the grade book. As I open up additional blocks, you definitely will see more assignments showing up. It only shows the assignments for the visible blocks. But as you can see, we have lots of lessons that are not visible yet, so you can't see those assignments. At the very bottom, it'll show you how many points we have and how many points you have completed. And this course, as far as your grade goes, it is based on total points. And I will show you that when we get to the syllabus. The student lounge. This is for you guys to share information with each other. So if you found a cool online resource, or if you found a neat JavaScript gaming site, or if you might have a question, feel free to use the lounge. This is your discussion forum. Then below that, we have links to our different social media. What we typically post there are job opportunities, internship opportunities, and we will also post our events. And so 3 times, maybe 4 times this semester, we have CIT Industry Night Out, where we actually go to a business, they feed us dinner, and they give us a tour of the facility, and their IT department basically tells us what they do on the job. So it's a nice way for you to get a feel for what it's like to work in the industry. Okay, so that is also posted to social media. Okay, and below that, we have the lesson blocks. Now, for the first week, in addition to doing lesson 1, you guys also get to do the orientation. So the orientation, I mean, it looks like it's a lot, but it's really not. It's just short activities, basically to help you guys introduce yourselves to each other and to orient yourselves to the course itself. You will notice that the assignments are always due at the end of the week. So here is the date range. They are due Monday, the 22nd at 11:59 p.m. And then these are all of the activities that you're going to complete as part of the orientation. The instructor welcome message gives you some general information about the course and lets you know what my expectations are. The syllabus is kind of your contract with the instructor. And again, I've got my office hours here, office phone, description of the course. For the textbook, we are going to use web-based resources. I also have an ebook that you may use, and those are all linked into the reading assignment section. The connection to the internet obviously is required. And then as far as the software goes, the software required in this course is the same as the software that was required in the 180 course. So you need a web editor, and we are using VS Code. And in case you don't have VS Code anymore, I did include a link for it. We are using FileZilla for our FTP program, the program that transfers our files to the web. And then it is important to test on multiple web browsers, so that web browser page has links to the various web browsers. As far as the web host goes, you don't need to worry about that. You will be using the same web account that you used in the 180 class. And if you do not have that FTP information anymore, just email me and I can find it and forward it to you. The USB flash drive, this is kind of optional, but if you are using computers on campus, you may want to save your work in the flash drive. Finally, for any kind of Zoom meeting, you really need a microphone, and a video camera is also nice. Microphone is essential because that is how you're going to communicate with me. And it is nice to have your camera on so I can see all of your smiling faces. Below that, we have our learning outcomes and our general education outcome. And in this class, we do measure critical thinking. And for the learning outcomes, they fall into 6 categories, and each one kind of describes what you will learn by the end of the semester. And they tend to be kind of broad. Okay, so if you kind of read through here, it gives you an idea of what you're going to be learning, and then how we will assess that to, determine whether you learned it or not. Grading and assignment information. So we have 1,000 points in the course. And this is how your grade is going to break down. In this class, we don't have textbook and lab assignments. We just have lab assignments. Okay, so we have quite a few lab assignments. We have unit tests that are very similar. The questions are similar to what you will see on the IT specialist certification exam. The IT specialist certification exam on JavaScript is your final exam in this class. And then we have a term project. And so we start with a proposal, and the project involves creating 3 games. You will create a game using HTML5, CSS3, and Canvas. You will create a game using jQuery. And then the third game is your choice. You know, you can use HTML5, CSS3, Canvas, jQuery, whatever you want. You absolutely cannot use frameworks for your game, and it does have to be your own original game. I mean, you can remake a game that exists, but it needs to be your own code. And it's perfectly okay to watch tutorials to get ideas. For the project, I do allow you for 2 of the games to use games that you will be creating as part of assignments. So you'll have like a game pretty well fleshed out in an assignment, and then you can kind of tweak it a little bit for this project. I will also allow you to use ChatGPT to generate some code for the game. But I will tell you, I've been playing with it a lot, and it's not super useful for the complex logic required for scoring. But ChatGPT will basically give you a framework for a very simple game, which you will then need to go in and modify and add the code for scoring. Okay, so expect if you're going to use ChatGPT, you are going to have to modify it because as is, it's not going to be a functional game. In fact, if you just use ChatGPT and you do not modify it, you aren't going to get very many points on it because it does not do any of the complex scoring code. Okay, so that'll be your project. There's 3 milestones that you will have to have portions of that project completed. After each milestone, you will share with the class what you did, and then your peers are going to review it. Okay, so for each milestone, you'll turn that in, then you will be posting to the discussion, and then you will be reviewing each other's. And this is actually useful because you will be posting if you had problems or what you're working on, and your peers may have ideas or they may have encountered the same problem and they can share with you how they solved it. Okay, so these discussions are actually very useful to you. And then finally, we have other types of discussion exercises, and we have an e-portfolio and a GitHub requirement. So for GitHub, we basically, after each of these milestones, you will be putting your project in a GitHub repository. And then for the e-portfolio, you will probably use the same portfolio that you used in the 180 class, which is fine. A lot of you chose LinkedIn, which is perfect. And all you really have to do is take that project from that you uploaded to GitHub and link it in as a project to your e-portfolio. Okay, and there are directions on how to do that. Okay, so that's pretty much that discussion ePortfolio GitHub portion. And that is how you get all of your points. And I've got the grading scale here. It's the same grading scale for all of the business division. 95 to 100% is a 4.0. And that equates to 950 to 1,000 points. If you fall between 900 and 149 points, okay, that is 90 to 94%, and you will get a 3.5. And I should mention that for those of you people that are really worried, oh, I'm so unlucky, I always get like 949. I actually look for you people, and I will basically round you up into the higher grade. Okay, so if you are super close, you will not miss the higher grade. Okay, and this next section basically describes the assignments that I just told you about. When we go back to the course, I will talk about the reading assignment and the lecture material so you can see where that's located. And just realize that all of the assignments, the project milestones, everything has due dates. If you cannot get the work done by the due date, all you have to do is email me, especially if you are coding out a game. I would prefer that you guys, if you need like a couple more days, I'd prefer that you ask and, you know, do it correctly rather than turn it in wrong. Okay, so please communicate with me and just let me know that you're going to be a little late. Also, let me know if you need help because I'm happy to help you guys. Okay, and so I believe we've talked about all of this already. I will let you read through the rest of this. And the college syllabus is the same for all classes. You pretty much need to read it once a semester, and then you're good. So if you have not read it yet, please read it because it's got a lot of college policies in it. The assignment schedule is goes through each lesson. You'll notice the date ranges here and the due dates, and it indicates, you know, what we are covering. Okay, so this is basically what we are covering every single week. And when things are due. I do recommend that you print this out, and then as you complete things, you can cross them out. Okay, this first lesson is kind of the course orientation, that information, and lesson one combined. Okay, so you'll see student profile glossary discussions. Those are part of orientation. Reading assignment, assignment one. Those are part of lesson one. If you are on campus, good idea to watch the campus safety video. We are live stream and online. So unless you are going on campus for another class or to use the computers there, this is not going to pertain to you. As far as the orientation assignments go, things that you will get points for, there are two of them. One is a profile glossary. So this is just a way for you guys to get to know each other. When there are so many of you that are online and some of you are in live stream, it's a nice way to get to see who is in this class. And when you fill out the profile, it shows up in this little drawer over here. Okay, so I did an example so you guys could see what it looks like. And so I put a quote in here that I like, even though it's kind of long, I actually really liked it. So I put it in here. And then I've got my hashtags in here. And that's a picture of me with my two little granddaughters. So I would like a picture of you so we can see what you look like. And you can either do a sentence or a quote that you like. If there's hashtags that describe you, you know, feel free to put those too. But the way you add this is you're either going to click on this student profile glossary link, or you're going to click on an add a new entry. Okay, and then you'll get into this little section. Click on add an entry, and then you're going to key in your first and last name as the concept. Then you're going to add a picture of yourself. So you're going to browse a repository. You will probably have to upload it. So you're going to have to choose the file. That'll take you to your hard drive where you can select it from. I'm just going to grab one that I already used. And then you have to add some alt text. And the next thing you're going to want to do is come down here and resize it because all these pictures are going to come in way too big. So for the width, you want either 150 or 200. Okay? And then if you just press tab, it will automatically size the height for you. I'm going to put it at the top and click on save. And then below that is where I would put the sentence that describes me or the quote and the hashtags. Okay. And then you can scroll down and hit save changes. And that's all you need to do to add the profile glossary. And it is worth 5 points. Okay. Fairly easy to get those points. Then after you finish that, you are going to do the discussion. That is the other orientation activity. So you're going to add a discussion topic. And if there's a name or nickname that you prefer, if you have hobbies or interests, please, share that. Share what your major or program of study is, and any additional information that you would like to share with your classmates. Please feel free to share it because this is a way for us to get to know each other. So I did take the opportunity to share some of my background with you. I did start as a programmer analyst. And so I kind of answer the question, well, why did I move from being a programmer analyst into teaching? So I kind of did a short summary of my journey from one career to another. Also, a little summary of the classes that I teach, courses that I've taught in the past, and what I do in my very limited free time. So I posted this to share with you. Obviously, I do get a little bit wordy. I tend to overshare. So do not feel like you guys have to write this much. Only include what you are comfortable with. Okay, so that is pretty much all of the orientation activities. As long as you have all of the software from 180, you are good to go. If you have a different computer, or maybe you didn't take the 180 class at NMC, you maybe took it somewhere else, then you do need to download the software. And if you did take the 180 course from someone else, I will have to create a web account for you, and I will be emailing that information to you. Once you get the web account information, you will be able to use FileZilla. And for those of you that took 180, if you no longer have your FileZilla information, please email me and I would be happy to forward it to you. Okay, so that is the orientation. I do have a separate video for lesson 1 because for this first week, you need to complete the orientation and lesson 1. But keep in mind the orientation assignments, there's just 2 of them. Student profile glossary and the introduction discussion.